glass door with the key of imagination. Beyond it is another dimension. A dimension of sound. A dimension of sight. A dimension of mind. You're moving into a land of both shadow and substance, of things and ideas. You've just crossed over into the Twilight Zone.
Welcome back to Be or Not to Be with Michelle and Austin. Happy Halloween, bees! Hope you are all having and/or had a great Halloween night, whether you handed out candy and watched the movies we reviewed, went out to the bars or haunted houses, or even trick-or-treating. But B.O.B's, we have a treat for you. We've been excited to make this podcast our Halloween special. In this pod, we're going to be talking about an array of topics to celebrate this night oh so hallowed. Are you excited, B?
Of course I'm excited. This is what I've been waiting for.
I know. We've been wanting to do, we wanted to talk about so many topics this month that we decided to just put it all in one podcast and make it a special so that way we could also do our movie reviews.
Yeah, it's our Halloween special, guys. Get excited. So what do you have plans today?
Well, honestly, I'm not sure. I take it as it comes, but are you dressing up, B?
I don't think so. I mean, I was thinking about doing, I don't know if you watched it, The End of the Fucking World. There's James and, what's her name? Alyssa. I wanted to go with my friend as James and she goes as Alyssa. Either that or I wanted to go as a Power Ranger.
Of course. Oh my god. Wait, B, do you remember last year we said we were going to go as Zuko and Katara?
Hey, we still can. The night is still young.
The night is still young. We're still young. Are we?
Don't bring that topic up. That's the scariest topic we're going to be talking about.
Oh, age and reality. Aging. But yeah, I remember. Okay, everyone, if you see our picture, so you can see why we chose Zuko and Katara. Mm-hmm. I feel like we fit the bill.
Yeah, I often tell her that she looks like Katara.
Maybe I can play Katara in the live action series. Nominate me, guys.
But anyways, why don't we start by recapping the night or the month?
Okay, so this month we primarily focused on movie reviews of movies that we grew up on during the Halloween season. Mm-hmm. So the 4 movies we watched were Halloween Town, Twitches, Hocus Pocus, and Coraline. So out of those 4, B, which one did you like the most?
Personally, I loved Coraline. I liked Hocus Pocus, and I feel like, the 90s kids are going to be like, you didn't like Hocus Pocus over Coraline?
Right.
I think as far as, fitting the mold of, being a Halloween movie and being scary,
right,
Coraline does it for me.
Yeah, it really does leave that kind of impression.
Yeah, Hocus Pocus is a good Halloween movie, by itself.
Yeah, very much so.
But Coraline is a good scary movie for kids.
Yeah, it had that, I don't want to say horror, but it had that scare factor.
Yeah, that eerie vibes to it.
Yeah.
What about you?
Not to be that person, but honestly, I enjoyed Coraline the most as well. Mm-hmm. It was so deep. The story really had an underneath the underneath kind of thing. Whereas Halloween Town was a little too kiddish for me.
Yeah.
Twitch is I don't remember it going by that fast, but watching it as an adult, it went by hella fast.
I know.
And then Hocus Pocus, like you said, I really enjoyed it. It's a great Halloween movie. But if I want a scare factor, because Coraline wasn't really festive, it wasn't set during Halloween.
Yeah.
But I would watch it on Halloween night out of all the 4.
Yeah, it's definitely the scariest of the bunch. And I feel like even if you're not into scary movies, this is still going to be kind of a good movie for you to watch because it's not too scary, but it's also scary enough where it's oh, okay, I got the goosebumps.
Right. To kind of put you in that Halloween mood.
Yeah.
So if Coraline's our favorite, which one did you, I don't want to say dislike, but which one was your least favorite?
I mean, I don't want to backlash on it, but Halloween Town was not as good as I remembered. Don't get me wrong, guys. I used to watch Halloween Town maybe 3-4 times in the month of October growing up. I used to be really into that movie, but I think as I grew up and as I started watching more mature movies, this doesn't do it for me at all. Mm-hmm. Yeah. What about you?
I need to you can't answer before me because same. I don't know if it's because like we're like similar, whatever. But yeah, Halloween Town out of the four just seemed the most kiddish. I feel like it was too idealistic. I feel
it was too Hallmark.
Yeah, it was very too Hallmark, and I know it's a children's movie, but like if I had to never watch one of those again, it'd probably be Halloween Town.
Yeah, like I feel like this is a really good movie for kids on Halloween. Like it's family friendly. It's like
it'd be great. Like if you're at a friend, like it's like a potluck house, and the kids are done trick or treating, and you just need something to keep them entertained.
Yeah,
this would be a good one.
Yeah, definitely not for adults though.
Yeah, yeah.
This is like going on like the lazy river as an adult.
Oh yeah, like you're just chilling. You just need background noise.
Anyways, were there any movies that you wanted to review that we didn't get to review?
Actually, there was a lot. There's a lot of good ones. Like Haunted Mansion, Casper. Like, come on. I know everyone at least knows about Casper. Except if you're born after like maybe 2000. Maybe 2000. You probably don't remember Casper. But Monster House, Mom's Got a Date with a Vampire. Like, that brings me back to watching Disney Channel or even like ABC Family during the month of October right in front of the TV.
Yeah, same. I think on those same lines, I think like any of the Scooby-Doo movies.
Yes. Oh my God.
Especially the older animated movies.
Yeah,
like the Zombie Island one.
The Zombie Island and the werewolf one.
Yeah, the werewolf and the aliens one.
Oh my, I forgot about the aliens.
Those are so good.
Oh, do you remember? Okay, this one wasn't super like Halloween-y, I guess, but Cyber Chase.
Cyber Chase was my favorite Scooby-Doo movie. We're not talking about that because we're going to get too much into it, but it was my favorite Scooby-Doo movie.
I guess that just means we're going to have to review it.
Oh yeah, we're going to review it sometime. We're going to have to.
Okay,
but even like the live action movies are really good.
The live action would be good for Halloween time too.
Yeah, because especially like that one had like a very like it had like possession vibes
and it had like a ghouly vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Scooby-Doo, you guys got Halloween in the bag.
Yeah, we gotta review some more of those.
Talking about movies though, how do you think the effects of these movies, or like what are the effects of these movies on the Halloween spirit? Are they effective or relevant in the sense, do they make you feel festive, spooked, or even think of Halloween?
I think in the context of the movies that we watched and reviewed this month, I think that they're more geared towards like the idea of celebrating Halloween as an American tradition, like going out and trick-or-treating. I guess it does kind of get me into that festive vibe, but not so much in the spooky vibe, obviously. We're like, they're all children movies.
Right.
But I think like the one movie that like did spook me, quote unquote spooked me, was Coraline. Obviously,
but it wasn't a Halloween movie. It came out in October, I believe.
Yeah,
but it wasn't set during a Halloween thing like Halloween Town or Twitches.
Yeah, there was no clear reference to Halloween, if not any.
Right.
What do you think?
Well, I think the effects of these movies, like, they're important because they set the mood. They get people excited for October 31st and for, celebrating Halloween. It's, I don't know, it kind of adds more folklore. It adds more, I don't know, meaning, I guess. And I think they are relevant in society because, like, we reviewed movies from the 90s.
Yeah.
From maybe early thousands. And we still remember them to this day.
I mean, it definitely has a lasting effect on us, even as adults. I feel like if we watched them as adults, though, we would not remember them.
Yeah, like, it'd be something like we would never want to watch again.
Yeah, let's face it, it's kind of a garbage movie. But
yeah, it's very, like...
We're talking about Halloween Town and Twitches, not so much, like...
Yeah, not Coraline or really Hocus Pocus. Like, Hocus Pocus, it deserves its credit.
Yeah, it's a kids movie, but there's definitely some adult references that will get you going.
Sure.
Yeah.
So like adults can enjoy it. Like if you guys listen to our review on that one, then you know how we feel about it.
I mean, I think ultimately it does do that goal of like getting you into the Christmas, Halloween vibes of everything.
Almost Christmas.
Yeah. Yeah.
But okay, so like we're talking about the lines of like scary childhood like movies. What were some scary childhood things or memories that you remember?
Definitely Goosebumps.
Oh my God, Goosebumps.
So the thing is, I have a confession to make.
Okay.
I never really read a lot of the books.
Really?
I read like one or two of them, but I was too scared by the covers to even open the book.
Oh my God. The covers were like a little, not a little. They were pretty disturbing. Like they were in your school library, and you know, if you just pull it out because you see like, ooh, something like goosebumps, blah blah blah, and you pull it out, I feel like for a child, it's like some nightmare fuel.
Yeah.
You know?
And in my school, they usually had like the festive books, whatever, being displayed on the shelves.
Right.
And so like all I saw was like there was a Goosebumps display during Halloween, and I scared so easily back then. The one with the puppet, I forget what it's called, Night of the Living Puppet, I think.
Okay.
That one was terrifying. It was like a puppet sitting on a bed.
Oh my god, I do remember that one.
Yeah, that was the most terrifying because at the time, that's when I first started getting scared by Chucky, because that's when I first started remembering
Chucky, and that gives me like Annabelle
yeah
vibes.
Basically, any doll is scary.
I totally remember oh god, I'm like seeing it in my head again.
It was that one, and then all the masks ones. You know, the ones when you get taken over by a mask.
Yes, I do. Because I was gonna say I remember a cover with a green mask on it.
Yeah, that's the one I remember vividly in my head. Yeah, there was tons. It was terrifying, but I like read maybe like one or two of the books, the ones that were like not scary, but they're also those were the boring ones. But you know,
do you know which one like I remember so clearly from my childhood? It's the one. It's like a bee of a. It's a body of a bee or wasp. And it has a child's face on it.
You know, that picture is kind of coming into my head. It doesn't ring a bell, but I kind of see it in my head. I kind of know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that one is so iconic. Like, I think about the puppet one, the green mask one, and this one.
Really?
Yeah.
Have you ever watched the series before?
I did not. Wait, was there an animated series?
I don't think there was an animated series. There was only like the 90s series, the live action.
Oh, I do remember.
Yeah.
I don't think I watched all of it. I think I just watched an episode, but I do remember. Did you?
I watched a lot of them.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know why. I wasn't really into the reading of it because I feel like that would be scarier to me. But I watched a lot of the TV shows, and that scared me so hard as a kid.
They were scary as a kid?
Yeah. I mean, so the puppet one, they did an episode on that one.
Oh my god.
It's terrifying because
I can imagine.
it was just a puppet. Like, I don't even think the puppet was actually like animated to move. I think it was just like you're looking in the eyes of the puppet and he's just chasing the kids around the house. It's terrifying.
Oh my god. I can like just picture that in my head.
Yeah. And also like the most iconic one is the mask one as far as an episode goes, because like the girl's like face just gets stuck to the mask.
Right. And she tries to take it off, but she can't.
Yeah, because she's actually the monster. It's terrifying. I mean, there's good family values to it or whatever, but it's like mixed in with terror.
Yeah.
You don't really see the family values.
I'm surprised like Goosebumps got away with so much. I mean, maybe we're just remembering it to be a little more scary than it actually was, but I remember it was pretty scary.
It probably was. Like, let's face it, 90s graphics were like, I mean...
Oh, yeah, the graphics, the cover graphics, okay, it's a little laughable looking at it back, like, you know, now, but in the moment, I remember it was a little scary.
I mean, we've proved that 90s graphics based off Halloween Town is garbage, but I mean, you know, for the time it was scary because there's nothing like it.
It did its job for, you know, our young minds.
But, I mean, it did the job for me at least. Was there any other books or series that you thought was scary as a kid?
Scary? Not really. Did you?
As far as like other book titles go, I was really terrified of Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark.
Yes. Oh my god. I totally like right when you were saying the beginning, I was like, wait, actually, I'm thinking of the book where the head is sticking out of the ground.
Yeah.
It has like blue lipsticks or whatever.
It was like a clown that was like it looked like a mushroom cloud like explosion.
Yeah. But it was like this guy's face, like this scary face.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was terrifying. I never read any of the stories because I was too scared by the cover. Again, it was too scary.
I would say that was scarier than Goosebumps.
Oh, yeah, definitely. By far, it was scarier than Goosebumps. They went all out with stories.
I actually ventured into the books, B, and I will say, like, it was pretty scary.
Like, I don't know how you survived, B. That's, like, terrifying.
Me neither. Like, I was the biggest wuss. Like,
wasn't it marketed towards children, too?
Yeah, it was in our school libraries.
That's so weird. Like, those covers alone easily rated our movie.
Oh yeah, for sure. It had like the fuel, but I remember the stories like they did its job. And I mean, I could sit here forever and talk about like the stories, but I mean, we have other things to talk about.
Yeah.
But if you guys remember Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, let us know. I mean, I like growing up with our school library, it was always there. So I saw it since I was like in 3rd grade all the way to 8th grade. So it's like ingrained.
Apparently, I think the Philippines has their own version of it, and it's also terrifying.
I bet. Because I feel like Americans I was gonna say shit, but water stuff down. Compared to like Japanese movies, Japanese mangas.
My God, I don't want to even get started on it. Like The Grudge and The Ring, they both came out.
Iconic.
When did they come out? They came out 2003, 2004, right?
Something like that, yeah, like early thousands.
We were like infants, pretty much. We were like,
Yeah.
like 9 and 10, 7, 8, something like that. We were really young when they came out, and all I remember, this is when like Blockbuster was still a thing.
Oh my
like,
God, I feel like some of our listeners don't even know what Blockbuster is.
Or like even if you went to the grocery store, you know how they always have like the DVDs
Yes.
on the wall. Like I remember when my mom was checking out, the DVD shelves were always like right next to the cashier.
Yeah.
So I always went in there while my mom was checking out, and I always ran into the Grudge cover, and it was so terrifying. I'm like, why would anybody watch this?
Yeah. Oh my God, like I remember when they first came out, like it was pretty relevant for a while.
Yeah. There was a game that was circulating in elementary. It was called the Grudge game, and it's literally like one of those like point and click adventure games. And the idea is to get out of the house, but you have to do a bunch of chores or whatever.
Oh my God, to like teach kids to do chores so that the grudge doesn't come for them.
Yeah, but it was so terrifying because like any wrong move you make, like the grudge will attack you, and like you quote unquote die, and you go into the pool of like dead souls or whatever that the grudge has taken or whatever.
I don't remember this.
It was like in our elementary school that was a big thing because like this girl who was like really popular at the time, she was also really obsessed with like horror stuff. So she would tell like everybody like, oh my God, you should play it or whatever. I played like 5 seconds of it, and I'm like, nope, I can't do this. I'm too scared.
But I would say those two movies I remember like iconic. Did you watch either of them?
I didn't. I know the stories of both of them, but I never watched it.
I remember when The Ring came out and the whole thing about like you'll die in 7 days after watching it. Like I was so scared for my brothers because they watched it, and then I remember I was so sad, like I almost cried because I was like, I thought they were gonna die. I thought because I told my brother not to watch it, but he watched it, and I like legit was so scared that, oh my God, 7 days.
Do you think people like nowadays would believe that though?
No. I mean, remember at this time I was like a 10-year-old child.
That's true.
But I mean, I like the idea of the legend, and even the grudge, like that sound it makes.
Yeah.
Like what is it? Yeah. Like, and people would do that around school, and I'm like, stop that.
You know what's funny? Before the Grudge came out, I used to do that all the time, and I'm like, I never thought anything of it. And then my mom was like, don't do that. And I was like, all of a sudden, like right after the Grudge movie came out, I didn't know at the time. My mom was like, don't do that. And I was just like, why? She's like, just don't do it.
You're summoning the grudge. But, you remember the Grudge and The Ring, like American version. Have you ever heard or watched about the Japanese version?
Of course I've heard about it. I've never watched it,
I don't think I could ever, like, I hear that it's literally like the American version, but like 10 times scarier.
Yeah, like what you're saying about Americans watering it down.
Yeah.
They watered that shit down in America. Like I heard the Grudge in Japan, like it's so gruesome and terrifying. It's like rated R.
Oh.
But like, I mean, you know, Japan can do some crazy stuff.
Oh my God, I bet. Okay, so talking about like horror movies, like what do you think the effects of horror movies was like on children? Because I remember there was people like in our grade who watched The Grudge, The Ring.
Yeah. I feel like as a child, a very, very naive, scared child.
Who believes like in anything and is scared of your own shadow.
Yeah. The moment I see a scary picture, like I was freaked out for, I'm not kidding you, like maybe a couple weeks.
Same. Personally, like I could never handle the horror genre. Even now, I can't. I mean, I like creepy stories, but horror, like jump scares and everything, like I'm scared I would die of a heart attack.
I don't particularly seek them out, but it is kind of interesting to hear the stories.
Yeah, I'll Wikipedia the story just so I know what it's about, but I'll never watch it.
Same. I'm like one of those people who like when a horror movie comes out, like they always have like the movie recaps and they'll explain the entire plot summary. I'm the one to watch those instead of the movie.
Yes. I'm surprised though, because I feel like you would be the type that enjoys horror movies.
I don't particularly like it because I'm not into like gore. I'm not really like into like seeing the visual scares,
right.
But I like hearing the stories and like how like stupid the characters are at times, you know.
Okay, like that. That could be in a whole like other podcast.
Yeah.
But if we were in a horror movie, if you were in a horror movie, do you think you would survive?
I mean, logically, probably, but like in a movie scenario, I'd probably be like the third or fourth to die. Let's face it. In a group of 5 friends, I'd be the person to like help the main character escape.
Because obviously in this Hollywood, the Asian's not the last one that's gonna stand.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's gonna be a white girl who's a virgin. She's pure, blah, blah, blah. We get it.
And then we find out she's actually the killer.
Oh my god, that's the best plot twist ever. But I mean, like, where would you stand?
Okay, because like I do have like that. I don't know if I would be adventurous Michelle, where I would like be like, okay guys, we're getting out of here, we got this, or I'd be like cautious Michelle, where I'm like, okay guys, like let's take a step back, let's just hide in here. But I honestly like, if I'm gonna go down, I'm gonna go down fighting. So I'd probably be one of the first ones to die.
You're gonna be. Have you ever watched Scream before?
Yes, I have.
You know that girl who's just like talking all like shit to the guy, and he's like, he literally crushes her with the garage door.
Yes,
You're her.
So yeah, I'd die before you. That's for sure.
We probably die together. Maybe we'd be like in a house or whatever, and we're trying to like help the main character or whoever survive.
Right.
And we just get stabbed and whatever.
We sacrifice ourselves.
Yeah, because we're just good people.
Although I'd be like, I think it's noble, but I'd be so scared. Like I'd be like, okay, I'm gonna run.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, in this whole scenario, as soon as like a bad guy is like somewhere near me, I'm out.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not near anything.
Do you think that's why high school like made us run like that much? If you watch our high school podcast, or if you listen to our high school podcast, guys, then you know what we're talking about.
Yeah, they're just training us for horror movie scenarios
so that we can survive. We're survivors.
I'm not even like about like the whole running thing. I'm like, as soon as like, you know, the very introduction when like the news spreads about like a murder or whatever, I'm like, I'm out. Okay, if like a student at my school like ever got murdered, I'm out. Like, I don't care, because
like,
there's a serial killer.
Okay, maybe if it's fine if it's 1 or 2, but if there's like 15 students that are dying, fuck yeah, I'm gonna stay at home. I'm gonna stay on my side of the island and stay away from all the drama.
Oh hell no! If there's 3 students at least, or at most 3 students, I'm out. Like, I'm not like going to school. I'm like, Mom, I don't care what you say. I don't care if I don't get an A for this 3-day, whatever, how long it is.
Right.
Until they find the killer, I'm staying put. But like, yeah.
That was these horror movies, like at least The Grudge and The Ring. I remember clear as day. It was crazy because I never watched it, but I remember the effect it had on people.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I mean, since we're talking about like scary movies, was there any interesting scary stories that we grew up on that you can think of?
I think the most common one was probably Bloody Mary, or the Boogeyman, or other urban legends.
Actually, it's funny you bring up the Bloody Mary because I remember that one so clearly. So everyone, if you haven't heard about Bloody Mary, then the legend is if you go into a bathroom, look in the mirror, and say Bloody Mary 3 times, then a bloody woman is supposed to appear. Do you remember it like that?
Mm-hmm, I remember it.
Exactly like that?
I remember it very... Look around in the mirror. Yeah, spin around. Usually it's like, look in the mirror. It would usually be like spin around once, say Bloody Mary, look it again, spin it around again. So you spin around basically every time you say Bloody Mary.
I've never heard of that one. Like the one that I heard was if you went into a bathroom, you stand in front of the toilet, say Bloody Mary, then flush the toilet and do that 3 times. Then a woman is supposed to appear.
What?
That's the version I heard.
Whoa. Okay, I've never heard that story before.
Really?
Yeah, I've never.
I remember it clearly, like in 2nd grade.
So, do you know what the origins of Bloody Mary is?
I don't know exactly where it stemmed from, but some people suspect that Bloody Mary could have been one of 3 potential women from history. Mary Tudor, Queen Mary I of England, who put many Protestants to death to make England more Catholic. There's also a story that she had a false pregnancy where her belly grew and she had pregnancy symptoms, and when it came time for her to deliver, the doctors realized that her belly was empty. So people think it's because she killed so many people that there's no way she could have made life within her.
That's so scary.
So you kind of see like that kind of idea. And then the second one is Elizabeth Bathory, aka Queen of Blood, who murdered hundreds of girls just to bathe in their blood.
Okay, that seems like the most logical.
Like Bloody Mary.
Yeah.
And then the third one is Mary Worth, a witch executed during the Salem witch trials, which I could also kind of see.
Yeah. But I just don't see how, like, she would get the name coins Bloody Mary in that scenario.
Right, because especially since it's like a witch kind of thing.
I mean, unless it's like talking about like lamb sacrifices, like blood all over her.
True.
But then at the same time, like, how would you get like spinning around in the mirror in the bathroom?
From that, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I don't know exactly where the story or like when it originated, but as I was like doing some research, I saw that people had suspects, and at first I thought I didn't even think about who Bloody Mary was. I just thought it was just like a demon or something.
Yeah, me too.
So how did you first hear about it, B?
Honestly, the memory is kind of foggy. I don't really remember too much where I heard it from. I think I might have heard it from a TV show, not specifically remembering where, but I do remember my most famous like Bloody Mary like story or whatever. It never happened to me or whatever, but I just remember like hearing one of my friends talking about like how they did it and whatever. And then the craziest thing is that they did it, and then she was a girl, but she wasn't like, she was too young to like be on her menstrual cycle.
Oh, yeah.
But she did it, and apparently she didn't see the lady, but she saw blood on the floor, which was terrifying.
Okay, that's creepy.
Yeah, and like she was like, this was like granted we were like 4th or 5th grade. She wasn't obviously like menstruating, but obviously like, you know, I don't know if I could believe her too, but you know, it's possible. So
kids have a wild imagination.
Yeah, but that's what I remember, and I was just like, oh my god,
that is scary.
But what about you?
Actually, I'm opposite of you. I remember it so clearly.
Really?
It was in 2nd grade, and I remember like I don't know what part of the year it was, but I remember all of a sudden people are talking about Bloody Mary, and I was like, well, who or what is Bloody Mary? So they told me the story, and a rumor went around that a girl tried to summon Bloody Mary during recess. And it was like big news. Like all the kids, like we all gathered like in this, like by the tree on the playground. And we were like, wait, did so-and-so really summon Bloody Mary? And people were just like, oh yeah, like she did the ritual and everything. And then after that day of school, she was absent for a couple days.
Oh my god.
And we all thought Bloody Mary got her. And we were like kind of freaking out. We're like, you know, as kids, like we were kind of freaking out. And but we realized in reality that her family actually took them, like went on a small vacation.
Oh my god.
And we were all like, but while she was gone, we were just like freaking out. And a couple of days later she came back and she's like, oh yeah, like we went on a vacation, and we were just like, we thought you died. We thought Bloody Mary got you.
Did she say that she saw her though?
Yeah, she said that, or I don't remember if she saw her, but she summoned her, like, you know, did the ritual. So we all just like put the pieces together. So that was story number 1.
Wow.
Then after that, I went to a Catholic elementary school, and the legend was going around again. And because, you know, like it was a Catholic school, we think of the Virgin Mary and like holy, like, and everything like that. I remember a boy said he would summon her during recess as well. So a bunch of us waited outside the boys' restroom, and when he came out, he said he saw her, and for a while after that, the boys were too scared to use that bathroom for
I would
a while.
be too. I'd be freaking out.
We were like, did you see her? Did you see her? And he came out and he's like, I saw her. And then looking back, it was most definitely a lie. Like, I mean, looking back who it was, I don't know why we believed him so readily. Because he was kind of like he would do things for attention.
Yeah.
But because we were so serious about it, we all believed him. But yeah, and I remember, I don't know why, it was like within like 3 years of each other, this story happened.
Wow.
And I remember being so scared. I wouldn't even say Bloody Mary because I was scared that if I even said those words, she would come for me.
Same. I was like kind of superstitious in like high school, whatever. So when I moved houses in like junior year, I had this giant vanity mirror that was a closet door. You've been to my house, you know what it is. So it was a giant like closet door with like a mirror on it. And I remember like there was a Lady Gaga song that came out on her album. It was my favorite song, but it was called Bloody Mary.
Oh my God.
And I refused to sing it in my room because it says it more than 3 times in the song.
Oh my God.
And I had a giant mirror right next to me. I'm like, I'm not singing that song. No, thank you. So, but it's like because that was like my favorite song. But I was so superstitious, I just didn't want to sing it. And I was like, oh, man, this is a regretful song. But yeah, terrifying.
Oh my God, V. I just remember now I say it so freely because whatever, like I'm still kind of scared. I mean, like not of Bloody Mary, but of like superstitious things. But it's, actually, like I say it so readily now, but I know when I go home, I'm not going to say it.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm still superstitious about like all, like even more than just Bloody Mary, but Bloody Mary specifically because it's like, I feel like Bloody Mary is scary because you're in like a solitary area.
Yeah.
You're by yourself. You like, you can't like do anything. If she's in there with you. And just giving me chills now.
Okay, I'm kind of reverting back to the young Michelle, and yeah, I don't think I'm getting scared again. It's just like, it's interesting how like kids get so freaked out about this. I mean, I see why. And then how like kids kind of make up stories to say that they saw her, but we know like they didn't.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because for me, like growing up and even now, I'm usually really good with putting faces to like things that are made up. But for some reason, when I picture Bloody Mary, it's just her face is just like covered, and it's not by like a veil or anything like that. It's just like blackened. I can't see it wherever, but like, I can see the body is like, it's like a naked woman with like blood dripping down her.
Oh, I was kind of thinking of like a white like nightgown on her.
Oh, okay.
A little whimsical.
So I'm thinking demonic, you're thinking holy.
I'm thinking Carrie.
So is there any other urban legends you've heard?
Actually, I think this one everyone remembers. It's the boogeyman. I mean, okay, so basically the legend is that there's no definite tale of the boogeyman, but it is believed that he's a sort of monster that lives in children's bedrooms, whether it's under the bed or in the closet. He's the monster that terrorizes small children, kidnaps, and eats them if they misbehave. So, how did you first hear about it, B?
Again, I mean, a lot of these urban legends, I feel like I haven't really like, I don't think I've really heard about them. It was kind of more just like adapted into my lifestyle. So I don't remember when I heard about the boogeyman, but I do remember when I first started believing in the boogeyman.
Ooh.
This was in 3rd grade.
Okay.
So up until like 3rd grade, I had to share a room with my parents because we were like living in a small town house.
Right.
So we finally got our own room, or me and my sister had to share a room and whatever, but our beds were basically one of those like standard, the standard bed, twin bed sets with like, it's on a wooden plank, so like underneath you can store stuff underneath.
Oh, yeah.
I was terrified of the boogeyman at that point because this is the point I was still sleeping at nightlight because I was terrified of the dark.
Same. Okay, I know.
And then so like every so often, like I would never look under the bed, but I'd always be like, Mom, can you like check under the bed for me?
Really?
Yeah, I was terrified. I'm not even kidding you. Like you can ask my mom. She thought like I honestly thought there was like a monster under my bed. And like, or in the closet or whatever. So like, even to this day, if the closet door is open, I have to close it.
Oh.
Because I thought the boogeyman was either under my bed or it's in the closet. And I was just, and for me, if you can just imagine my room.
Yeah.
It's like, so there's a closet door along the wall, right?
Right.
And I slept along the same wall.
Right.
So basically.
It's right like across of you.
Well, it's like, it's not even like, it's like right butted against the same wall. My bed is right.
Yeah.
So the idea is that if you open the closet door, the closet door would be creaked in like towards me.
Right.
So like basically I'm the first victim to go if the boogeyman is there. So I'm like, we always have to close the closet door. I cannot sleep if it's open. Like my sister knows this, and I think she at some points just tried to scare me so she would leave the closet door open. I'm just like, no, bitch, we're not doing that right now.
Yeah, don't play with me.
What about you?
I can't really remember either when I first heard or started believing the boogeyman, but I just remember growing up that he was in TV shows, and it scared me to think that something could be under my bed. I didn't think he lived in my closet, or like if anything, I believed he was under my bed. And so when I would sleep, I was scared to let any of like my limbs, like of my foot or my hand, hang off the bed because I was like scared that the boogeyman will eat it.
See, well, I didn't think it was gonna eat it. I thought he was gonna grab me and just like drag me into his hell dungeon.
Yeah. Oh my god. Like I don't know if it was like my mind just creating the feeling of a hand wrapping around like my hand or my leg. Like, so it was just like no limbs could be off the bed and everything had to be under a blanket because I felt so protected. Oh, like he can't grab me if everything's under the blanket.
Exactly. That's my logic for everything. Even now as like an adult, like I still kind of have those like fears a little bit. So I mean, I still wouldn't like sleep with my arms like dangling off the bed.
Really?
Yeah, because I'm just like, well, one, it's not comfortable to sleep on like that. Like I don't know why. I just don't like, because I usually sleep on my side. So if my arm is dangling, I'm basically falling off my bed.
Oh, I see.
But like, if anything, I sleep on the other side. Like I'm facing towards the wall on my side, and I'm just like cradled against the pillow because I'm just like scared. Like I don't sleep anywhere near the edge of the bed because that's terrifying.
I don't know, like for some reason, like this past couple months, I like to have my feet hang off my bed.
Oh my god, babe.
Yeah, like I don't know if it's like the feeling of, I don't know, I just like it.
No, B, that's how the boogeyman gets you.
What if I'm the boogeyman?
I wouldn't be with that. I doubt it.
Imagine, okay, so how like we said in Pixar theory that doors are portals. What if under the bed is portals and then I transform into the boogeyman at night? Unconsciously, of course.
So you're like a werewolf, but like a boogeyman werewolf.
Yeah, and I use the under the bed to go into your room and then scare you. I would love that power.
You know,
at least once, like just to do it once.
I'm your friend. I'm your ally here. I could help you, and you're gonna just like scare me
I'm gonna
instead.
Scare you instead.
You know,
out of everyone.
Of course you would. You know what? Just for that, I'm the boogeyman, and I'm gonna scare you. And since your legs are dangling off the bed, it's easy for me to grab you now.
Drag me to hell.
I just drag me, daddy.
Yeah. Oh my god. But yeah, I just remember the boogeyman like just being there, and it's funny that he was a monster that our parents would like literally make us scared of so that we would behave.
Yeah, okay, that's like the most effed up thing.
Like how's the psychology behind that?
Yeah, like, oh, don't be a bad person, otherwise the boogeyman will catch you. Just
like oh, if you don't go to sleep, he's gonna come for you. Like, come on.
I mean, I'm already terrified that it's coming for me. You don't have to tell me to go to sleep, man, okay? I'm under my covers. I'm trying to sleep.
Yeah.
But, like, just the added bonus, like, oh, he's gonna grab you at night. I'm just like, don't tell me that. But like also like now my logical adult brain, why would if you're sleeping, why would he not grab you? I feel like that's more vulnerable of a state.
It's because he wants children that misbehave specifically, apparently.
So he's like the bad Santa Claus.
Yeah, he's like the opposite. He's literally the anti-Santa.
What is it? Krampus?
Oh yeah. But yeah, that was the boogeyman. Do you think kids nowadays know about the boogeyman?
Yeah, he probably steals their iPhones in their sleep.
And gives them anxiety.
Yeah. It gives them the constant fear of not being able to buy a house in their lifetime.
Oh god. Oh, is that like the adult boogeyman? Because I got that fear.
I feel like, you know, like how they say millennials, like they can't ever buy a house in their lifetime. I feel so bad for like the Generation X, because they're just like not gonna be able to buy anything in their lifetime.
Generation Z too.
Oh yeah.
No, Generation Z has potential.
Wait, we're Generation Y, right? We're Generation Y. Yeah. So Generation Z. Sorry, Generation Z. So Generation Z, we wouldn't be able to they wouldn't be able to buy anything. They probably wouldn't even be able to rent anything either because it's gonna be too expensive.
What if we're the ones though? Because like I see like young kids, like they're Instagram famous, YouTube famous, and they're buying like properties and everything. And I'm like, maybe it's us millennials that are the only ones that will suffer.
I mean, still yet though, that's like still only the 1% of.
True, the very 0.5%.
Yeah, because like how many like rich people are there? There's probably like what 1,000 out of like a billion. I don't know. It's still a very small percentile.
Like these are like the best two like scary stories that I can, or like urban legend that I can remember distinctly, like for like the scare benefit as children.
Yeah.
And I just thought about it. You know how like we were scared to say Bloody Mary's name? They give me Voldemort vibes.
That's true.
She who shall not be named.
Do you think Voldemort was pretty much like an urban legend to them, or do you think? Or like, do you think like the people, like there are some people who didn't believe in Voldemort in the Harry Potter universe?
I 100% bet. I bet. Like, you have your non-believers.
It's just like a flat earther, except for...
Yeah, so Bloody Mary and Boogeyman, those are our urban legends. So, okay, so those are urban legends. Let's kind of look more into modern day scary stories.
Okay.
And I think the one, like, when you think of modern day scary stories, I'm pretty sure a lot of us think about creepypastas. Mm-hmm. And can you tell people what creepypastas are, just like if they don't know?
So basically, creepypastas, they originated the name from copy-paste. So the idea is like it's supposed to be a creepy paste thing where like you copy and paste a story.
Yeah.
But the idea of the creepypasta is not to be outright scary. It's supposed to kind of lead you down this eerie path.
Yeah.
You know something bad's going to happen, but you don't know what's going to happen. Mm-hmm. And at the end, it's just like it ties literally everything together. Mm-hmm. And it makes more sense towards the end.
Where do you find creepypastas?
There is a Wikipedia or a Wikia on creepypastas. If you just type in creepypastas, it'll pop up the website. You'll find it.
Is it on Reddit?
I think Reddit has their own genre. It's called No Sleep.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, the idea is still the same. So,
okay.
Yeah, I mean, you have options. But the idea of the creepypasta is just to scare people without outright scaring them. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So it's a very eerie story most of the time.
Okay, so it's basically an internet creepy story.
Yeah, pretty much. There's also like creepypastas that revolve around like lost episodes, quote unquote lost episodes of like TV shows that were like famous. So they're very nostalgic at times too. Mm-hmm. But it's like pretty dark stuff. We won't talk about any of those today though. Yeah. We're going to talk about our favorites.
Mm-hmm. And can you give them a little disclaimer?
Yes, I'm going to read this.
Okay,
in my creepiest voice possible.
Do it, B.
What you're about to hear may shock you. It may even scare you. Talks of blood, violence, and gore will be upon us tonight. You have been warned.
Oh, God, that is like very snarled voice. Okay, B, so what's our first creepypasta?
Okay, guys, so the very first creepypasta we're going to be talking about is a very common one. It's called the Russian sleep experiment.
Ooh.
So, just a summary of the entire story. The Russian sleep experiment is a fictional story that took place in the late 1940s. The idea of the experiment was to see the effects of sleep deprivation on a group of 5 political prisoners within the span of 15 days under the influence of an experimental gas. The prisoners, if successful, were offered freedom at the end of the experiment. During the first 5 days, the prisoners started to become hostile towards each other and tried to give away information about the others in order to escape. By the 9th day, a man started screaming and running up and down the chambers. Shortly after, his lungs ruptured due to the constant screaming. The remaining prisoners acted eerily stoic. They stuck pieces of paper to the window with their own feces, which was their only view from the outside. Upon doing so, screaming and all other noises stopped. The guards had to check the mics frequently in order to make sure that they were still working. On the 14th day, the scientists decided to open the chambers to test the mics from the inside. As scientists flushed the gas from the inside of the chambers, the prisoners begged to keep it on. Once inside, the guards saw 4 of the 5 prisoners still alive, or as alive as they could be. Pieces of their flesh were torn from their body, presumably from self-mutilation. After several guards fought and died against the prisoners, they were finally restrained and put into intensive care. The most severely injured prisoner was taken to get the majority of their vital organs put back into place, but stayed unaffected to the sedatives administered to him. He begged for the gases to be turned back on. The second patient, the one who ruptured his vocal cords on the 5th day, couldn't succumb to any anesthesia and instead was operated on while awake. The other 2 were in a similar state, but needed to be sedated by a paralytic. The operation was successful, but the paralytic wore off abnormally fast, and the prisoners immediately tried to unrestrain themselves once more. The prisoners were then placed back into the chamber and waited as researchers and guards decided what the best thing to do with them was. They decided they wanted to see what would happen if they were put back on the gas. The prisoners, knowing that they were put back on the gas, were compliant with what they were instructed, and as such were restrained and strapped to an EEG monitor. The first subject was monitored. and showed his brainwaves to be slipping in and out of consciousness. At this point, researchers knew the prisoners were straining themselves, trying to stay awake. The subject then fell into a deep sleep before flatlining altogether. The only remaining prisoner who was able to speak started to scream, demanding them to be sealed in. The commander then locked the remaining 2 prisoners in, as well as 3 researchers. One of the researchers pulled out a gun and immediately shot both the commander and the muted prisoner dead. He then pointed a gun at the remaining prisoner and demanded to know, "Who are you?" The prisoner smiled and then said, "Have you forgotten so easily?" the subject asked. "We are you. We are the madness that lurks within you all, begging to be free at every moment in your deepest animal mind. We are what you hide from in your beds every night. We are what you sedate into silence and paralysis when you go into the nocturnal haven you cannot dread." The researcher aimed his gun at the prisoner and shot him dead. The patient muttered, "So nearly free," as his last words.
Whoa. Okay. Whoa.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, B, I'm a little okay, wow, I'm wowed, but I'm a little confused.
Okay.
So, what is this gas?
No one really knows. It wasn't explained in the
So it's
stories.
it's just gas, basically.
Yeah, it's an experimental gas. It was developed by researchers, but it wasn't really... It's supposed to be a stimulant to keep them awake.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not sure if the gas was more of a drug or it was just to keep them, alive while they're doing the experiment.
Okay, so I'm at the end, I'm lost.
Okay, that's where I'm confused too a little bit. But I think the idea is that without sleep, your mind kind of goes through wondrous places.
Oh yeah, it goes crazy.
Yeah, so I think the idea was that we're all mad inside of our minds, but we're not all insane. So the idea of insanity coming out from us.
Oh.
I think the idea of them ripping their self-mutilating themselves and everything is it's kind of like a metaphor for them, their minds kind of turning them inside out once they lose sleep, because you need the yin with the yang.
Right.
So I think that's the idea. I'm not sure. Could be wrong. I don't know. We'll see. This is all made up, by the way. I should have prefaced that. It's a fictional story, though, so it's fine.
I'm kind of interested in how one of the researchers pulled out a gun and shot the commander and the muted prisoner.
Mm-hmm.
And then he points the gun at the remaining prisoner and is like, "Who are you?" Is he asking him if the subject knows he's a subject, or I'm kind of lost between there.
So the researcher pulled out a gun. He shot the commander and then the muted patient.
Mm-hmm.
So what was left was one other researcher, the guy with the gun, and the other patient prisoner person. Yeah. So he pointed the gun, the researcher pointed the gun at the patient and was like, "Who are you?" And then the patient responded.
With that deep metaphorical thing.
With a smile and a whatever and a very eerie response.
So nearly free.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God.
That's weird. I never really understood that part, but
interesting story.
Yeah, this is a very popular story, and up until a certain point, I think most people believed it was true.
I mean, let's be real.
Mm-hmm.
I can see it being real.
Yeah, I can see it too, but I mean, I think once you get towards the ending, that's when it starts getting
then it gets a little nuts.
Yeah,
but it's crazy. I don't think I could stay up for 15 days.
I don't think so, but I think that's what the gas was there for.
Oh, it's maybe caffeine in the air to keep them awake.
Yeah. It's basically just
air coffee.
Gas cocaine.
Yeah. Oh God. I get nuts after not having one night's worth of sleep.
I know. Grandma and grandpa over here.
Oh yeah. In bed by 10 on the weekday.
Yeah.
Hopefully 9:30 ideally.
Oh my God. It's funny because I remember in high school, I never ever wanted to go to sleep early. And then once I got to college, I was like, okay, I kind of want to sleep now.
And now as an adult.
And now as an adult, I'm just I want to go to bed at 8. Let's try to go to bed at 8.
Yeah. There will be times in the morning as we're going to the gym, we'll just be saying, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna shoot to go to bed hopefully at 8:30 tonight."
Yeah, I'm not even kidding you. We've had talks about this where we're just we wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning. Just an FYI.
Yeah.
I think we mentioned this. Yeah, we've had talks like this before where it's just okay, what time are you going to bed tonight? 8:30. Perfect. Me too.
Me too. I'm gonna go sleep too. So okay, I'll just text you. Make sure you're getting ready for bed.
I don't think honestly I've ever really went to bed. I mean, I was in bed by like 8:30, but I don't think I went to bed till like 9.
Yeah.
But I mean, still 9 is really early.
True. Like, I mean, can you imagine people our age like, oh my God, 9 p.m.?
I know.
The night is still young. Well, we ain't young. Like, we grandpa status.
I know. But, you know, we got to do what we got to do to be successful, right?
Right. Okay, we deviated from creepypastas. But, so that was one popular creepypasta. And like for anyone who's curious, I highly recommend looking it up and reading it yourself. It might give you more of like a scary vibe.
Yeah.
Well, the other creepypasta that we want to share with you is actually, I wouldn't say scary, but definitely
eerie,
creepy.
Yeah, creepy. This one's
so everyone, this is the story of Candle Cove. I'm just going to give you a quick summary of it. The story is told via a thread on a forum called the Net Nostalgia Forums, where a group of users discuss an unusual television show, Candle Cove. The show is about a young girl named Janice, who imagines herself to be friends with pirates. The pirate characters are said to be portrayed by puppets. As the users continue to reminisce, they begin to recall more disturbing details about the show, such as a character known as the Skin Taker, a skeleton pirate who wears clothing made out of children's skin, and an episode that consisted entirely of the puppets flailing and screaming. And at first, one user was like, oh, do you guys remember that episode? And another user was like, I don't know if I'm manifesting this because of what you said, but I feel like I remember that. And then a third user was like, I definitely remember that episode. I never understood why I watched it, but me and my brother watched it, and after that we couldn't watch it again because we were so scared. So the story closes with the user stating that they recently visited their mother, who revealed that during the times the user said they were watching Candle Cove, the mother thought that the child must have had a really great imagination because all the mother saw on the TV was static.
It's so creepy.
Oh, yeah. So if you guys want a visual representation of this story, I highly suggest watching YouTube Snarled Candle Cove.
Something scary.
Yeah. Snarled Candle Cove. It will definitely put it in like video form, and that's actually how I first heard about it.
Yeah.
And I remember when I watched it, I was I was like, oh my God, like, okay, a children's show, okay, like kind of maybe this is a Mandela effect thing, whatever. But at the very end, when the mother said all you watched was TV static, oh, there was a shiver that went down my spine.
But I think maybe this is kind of emphasizing the Mandela effect a little bit, like having that mentality. Because you know how like they were saying like, oh, that episode with the screaming children or the screaming puppets, and I remember it as a dream, but then I remember it as an episode. It's the idea that like, you know, somebody's idea turned into reality.
Or this is actually subliminal messaging. For people who don't know what subliminal messaging is, it's basically like messaging that's in between the lines.
Yeah, saying what's underneath.
It's a form of like brainwashing. There's a conspiracy theory that it's in our pop songs, in our TV shows, whatever. But deviating, you know, like there's some sounds that when you're 22 or like 23, you don't hear anymore. Like literally only young ears can hear it. I think it's like 20 hertz. Like what is it? 20 megahertz?
I have no idea.
So okay, there's like a once you get older, you stop hearing below a certain like
octave.
Sound. And actually, I heard about this on Shane Dawson's YouTube video. Like he couldn't hear this one sound, but people around him could, and they said, "Can you not play that? That hurt my ears." And he was like, "I don't hear anything." And as I was watching it, I didn't hear a sound either.
I didn't hear it either.
So I was like, fuck, I'm old. Sorry. Okay, sorry. We can scratch the effort out. But I was just like, damn it, I'm old. And so what if that kind of like thing happened with the static on the TV? What if only young kids could watch it?
I mean, is that like, does that same effect happen with like visual cues?
Okay, I don't know. I was just kind of being creative here. Like, I'm pulling at strings here.
I mean, I like that theory because it makes a lot of sense in that context, the audio context. I'm just like thinking maybe it is possible that like maybe it's just like a mind thing. Maybe it's a mind game.
Who knows? Oh, and like, I just want to emphasize that this is a fake story. I remember after I first watched this, I went to Austin and I was like, Austin, is this real? Did this really happen?
But you know what this reminds me of?
What?
You know the Spy Kids movie? The Floopies? I forget what they're called. The TV show that they watched in Spy Kids.
Yes.
And how like everybody was like getting hypnotized or whatever.
Yes.
This is what it reminds me of a lot.
Oh my God.
It's
I
like-
do remember that.
And then like if you played it backwards, it's like, man, help us.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. I forgot about that part, but right when you did that, I came back. Oh, I got chicken soup.
That's what I remember. I was like, okay, you know, this kind of reminds me of like the Spy Kids movie, but like the TV show and the Spy Kids movie.
What if like they're somehow connected? Like this is like the internet version of the Spy Kids movie.
Ooh, what is it leading up to? A new Spy Kids movie, maybe?
Oh God. Do we need another Spy Kids movie?
Hell yeah. We had 3, we got 4. We get another one. I feel like there might be a 4th one, actually.
Really?
I think so. I don't know. Could be wrong.
Actually, and also, like, B, do you remember this was the first creepypasta I ever watched or heard? And then this sent me down the rabbit hole.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
You told me about it, and I was like, okay, I'll watch it. And then I watched it, and I was like, holy cow, I'm into this shit. So I was like, more.
Oh my
So
God.
I like, yeah.
We need to do an episode of just creepypastas.
Maybe we need to do a video.
Ooh. How would we do a video, though?
I have no idea. But back on our creepy tangent. That's more of like a modern, like, creepy story. And I feel like they're very popular because, I mean, the internet is literally life.
Yeah.
Life force for us. So
It's our breathing energy.
yeah. it's our living energy. What is, like, do we need air anymore?
No, we don't. We just need Wi-Fi.
And internet. Yeah, that's all we need. So we went over some like scary urban legends. We talked about some creepypastas, but let's kind of go a little closer to home.
Ooh, okay. I like where this is going.
Let's talk about some Hawaii urban legends.
Okay.
Do you know any good ones?
Yes, in fact, I do. So, just a little precursor for this. This is a completely made-up story, and I definitely told Michelle this story. She never even heard about this story before when I told it to her. But this is the story of Morgan's Corner. So, legend has it, at night, a young couple drove to Morgan's Corner because they heard it was haunted. They wanted to stay for a bit. When they were about to leave, the car wouldn't start. The boyfriend offered to go and get some help, while the girlfriend stayed in the car. She waited for what seemed like hours as the constant sound of drips and scratches grazed the roof of the car. The girl finally went to sleep, and in the early hours of the morning, was awoken by a cop. The cop said, "Whatever you do, don't look up." But the girl, being scared and curious, regrettably looked up and found her boyfriend hanging by his feet from a massive tree, dangling over the roof of the car.
Oh my God.
So this is a completely made up story. Actually, it's an urban legend that was like originated in the mainland, but they brought it to Hawaii.
Yeah, because I've heard like almost the exact same story, but mainland version. And so that's why when you said that we have Morgan's Corner was this story, I was like, what the heck? Did the story originate here? And I started getting super freaked out. I was like, no, like this was just hearsay.
Yeah, it was definitely hearsay. But apparently the origins of Morgan's Corner was, I guess this woman, something Mrs. Wilder, we'll call her. She was a 68-year-old woman and she got murdered, cold blood in her bed by 2 escaped prisoners for unknown reasons. Why would they kill her? But whatever. That's besides the fact. Her house was located on Morgan's Corner, so I guess now it's haunted. Again, I don't know how the correlation between that and this happened, though.
I feel like people just thought it'd be a good story. Like they wanted to make it, I don't know, like maybe more relatable or like a little more real.
Yeah.
So they put it somewhere physically here.
It's definitely a good story, though. This is definitely, could be a creepypasta. If it is a creepypasta, I think it probably has a creepypasta.
It could be one, honestly.
But yeah, this is definitely a good story. Like, I got scared. The first time I heard about this, I was like, I think 8, 9. I watched this show called Chicken Skin.
I do. Oh yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
I remember.
Chicken Skin. It was a Hawaii-based Chicken Skin episode. I don't know if it was based in Hawaii, but it was definitely like it was definitely like an episode about Hawaii urban legends. And this one popped up, terrified me. I'm not kidding you. I was like so scared. I couldn't sleep for like a week.
Holy heck.
It was terrifying. But yeah, that was the story.
Oh wow. I've never heard about that one. I mean, like here in Hawaii, but I did hear the story.
It's so weird. I guess like I don't know. I guess Hawaii just really needs to like grasp at so like different urban legends.
I don't know, because we have some pretty scary ones here.
Ooh, do you want to tell me one?
Yeah, so I mean, probably not like a scary legend, but we do have we have a lot of haunted place on all the islands. But one specifically is the Pali Lookout. So the Pali Lookout, like during the day, it provides a beautiful panoramic view that people love to visit. But this beautiful lookout has a bloody past. Hundreds of years ago, when Kamehameha I, aka the Great, was on his conquest to unite the islands, this area became a famous battleground. It is estimated that around 400 warriors fell to their deaths, and when they began construction on this area, bones and skulls were found all over the place. At night, this becomes a hotspot for spirits, especially night marchers, which I'll eventually get into. The Pali is also known for the White Lady. It is said that at night, if you see a lady wearing a white long dress and has white long hair on the side of the road, you must stop and pick her up. There have been stories of people picking her up, and she would ask for a cigarette, and she'd light it with a snap of her fingers. Another person reported picking her up, and she was speaking Hawaiian, but a style of Hawaiian that was so old that the driver who spoke Hawaiian didn't understand a word she was saying.
That's terrifying.
And it's also said that once you pick up this white lady and you talk to her a little bit and you show her some kindness, as you turn around the bend, she disappears.
What if you don't pick her up?
If you don't pick her up, that's a great question. Then it is said that you may not make it to your destination. That your car will break down on the way.
Oh
you won't make it across the Pali because your car will break down.
Oh my god.
And yeah, so apparently it's because this white lady is actually Pele, who is a goddess or a Hawaiian spirit, or a Hawaiian goddess. And she's famous for going all over the islands. She's the volcano goddess, specifically.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Also, another thing about the Pali Lookout, or like the Pali in general, is don't take pork across the Pali. Apparently, Pele and the demigod Kamapua'a, a half man, half pig, had a bad breakup and agreed to never visit each other. If you try to bring pork over the Pali, you are symbolically trying to bring Kamapua'a from one side of the island to the other, and Pele will stop you. If you do try, according to legend, your car will stop at some point on the journey and an old woman will appear with a dog. You have to feed the pork to the dog in order to continue through.
Whoa. Okay, I didn't hear that last part of the story before.
Yeah, wait, the white lady or the pork?
The white lady, you have to feed the white lady the pork.
I've heard that one before. So like when people say like, oh, I want to take Manapuas through the Pali, or like, you know, whatever, then you just know. But I mean, I think during the day I would do it, but I would never do it at night.
Yeah, but I remember, this is in high school.
Right.
My Hawaiian studies teacher, he was talking to us about like Hawaiian urban legends, and he was talking to us about the Pali Lookout, and he said that him and I think it was his brother maybe, they were going over the Pali Lookout. They had just come back from like a party or something like that, and they had brought back I think something
leftovers.
It was from McDonald's though.
Oh.
It was like a sandwich, like a bacon sandwich or something, but it had pork in it. It was bacon probably.
Yeah.
So he said that like he forgot that he had the bacon sandwich in his car, and they drove over the Pali, and his car just completely stopped, and it would not work, and so they tried everything. They were looking at it, and they were both pretty like car savvy, so they knew. They couldn't find anything wrong with it, and so they called they had to call for the tow and whatever. But then they realized that they had pork on them, so they hurled the pork all the way across the Pali, and then their car just started working again, and they just booked it.
I got a little chicken skin.
Yeah.
Oh, imagine if that was us going from like Kaneohe to back to Elba Beach during the night. And the car broke down.
I'd be terrified. I would not know what to do.
I'd be so scared.
I mean, at least we'd have each other.
Yeah. But, I mean, the girl who would probably be one of the first ones to die, and then the guy who would probably die, like, third or fourth, in a horror movie, we wouldn't make it, B. We wouldn't. We're destined to fall.
No. I mean, if we meet a white lady, she's Pele, right? So, like, what? Like...
We'll just tell her we're Hawaiian.
Mm-hmm.
We are one of, like...
We're on your side.
Yeah, like, we're natives of this land. Like, we may not look it. Okay, I look like it.
I promise you, I'm 1/16 Hawaiian.
I went to Kamehameha schools.
I can show you my birth certificate.
I can show you my graduation picture.
I'm legal.
Let me just pull it up on my Instagram real fast.
I'm on you. You know, Hawaiian sovereignty. I love you. Don't hurt me.
Like, please just let us pass, Auntie, please.
I know. Terrifying.
Well, so that's the story about the Pali. And earlier I mentioned night marchers. A lot of people may not know what night marchers are. So, night marchers are the ghost spirits of warriors from old Hawaii who are always accompanied with the sound of beating drums. Some believe that they are en route to or from battle, carrying old weapons and dressed in cloaks and helmets. Others believe that in life, these warriors traveled at night to protect people so sacred that the common man was never allowed to look at them. For context, when a chief was among the common people, no one was allowed to look at him in the face or even step into his shadow. If they did, they were killed. Whatever the case, if you hear the drums or see the torches, you must never look at these beings. Looking at these ghostly apparitions meant certain death. Fortunately, these spirits don't go looking for people to haunt, so if you find yourself in their path, you must strip naked and lie face down and wait until they pass. I feel like people kind of laugh when they hear the strip naked part, but like according to like a lot of stories I found online or I've heard, a lot of people like they get so scared that they just follow what the legend says and just do it, and they just wait for the drums to go away.
Do you know the significance of stripping naked is?
I don't. But according to legend, the night marchers roam specific locations on the island, such as Nu'uanu, KS Kapalama, Pali Lookout, Kalihi Valley, and those are just to name a few. Actually, I have an experience that a friend told me.
Okay.
They were on Big Island. They were sleeping under the stars with like two other friends. They were in their sleeping bags, and they were sleeping, and then she woke up in the middle of the night because she started hearing a sound, and she said she heard a drum, like she heard drums beating, and she said it was really loud, and then it started to get softer. And according to the legend, if you hear the drums and it's loud, that means that the night marchers are far away. But if you hear it softly, that means they're really close. It's a weird concept. But she said that she heard the sounds and she knew, like she was like, oh, like who's making these sounds? Who's like popping fireworks? Like who's making this noise like in the middle of the night? And then she thought about it and realized these are night marchers. So she was so scared that she just went into her sleeping bag, put her sleeping bag over her face and her head, and just like started like praying.
Oh my God. Because
she knew what it was, and she knew that she couldn't look. And this is a good friend of mine, so it's not like some BS. But I also heard that like you're not supposed to put your bed in the path of a door and a window.
I heard that.
Like in your house, you're not supposed to align your bed with like a door or window or like a door and door, because that's like the path for spirits to walk through, to go through your house. They'll take your front door and go out a door that is straight across of it or whatever. Yeah. But I don't know if those are night marchers, but that's, I mean, we grew up hearing these stories, but that's the one from my friend is like a personal, I guess, closest to a personal story I've heard.
That's terrifying.
Have you heard of any?
I've heard, so this is at Camp Erdman, which if you guys don't know, it's a very popular camping grounds in Hawaii. I remember my counselor was telling us like, there was a lot of sightings of night marchers in the camp. And me, of course, being a scaredy cat, like they were telling us right before we went to bed. They said that there was a camper who was sleeping like in the same bunker right now that we were sleeping in, that at one point in the middle of the night, like they just heard drums and they knew it was night marchers, but they just didn't know what to do. So they just like, they literally did the exact same thing your friend did. Like they covered themselves and they were like just like scared out of their mind. Like progressively throughout the night, they just went back to sleep and then they forgot about it. But I remember they were telling us this, and literally I couldn't sleep the entire night. Like I was so terrified. But yeah, that was my like short story. But I don't even know what I would do.
I don't think I would even strip naked because I'd be too scared to get out. Like I don't want to risk seeing anything. So I would probably just like do exactly what our friends did and just like put the pillow over my face, put the blanket over my face, and just like wait for it to pass.
Yeah.
Or try to go back to sleep.
But my bed is like in the direct path of my door.
Mine too.
But it's like I can't help it. My door is like in this just weird position. Like wherever I put it, it's
like I can't put it on the other side of the closet or on the other side of the wall because my closet's there. So I mean, so far everything's been good.
Yeah.
Knock on wood.
But also, I live on a 2-story, so like, do you think the night marchers would like go upstairs?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Okay.
But I recently said that night marchers like to roam specific locations such as Keas Kapalama, which is actually where that's so Kamehameha Schools. That's our high school. Yeah. And I've actually heard some scary stories about our high school. One quick one is actually from my English teacher, and she said that she was staying late, grading papers and whatever, and she didn't leave the campus till like 8 p.m. And as she was leaving, she saw a lady in a white muumuu, which is like a white or like a Hawaiian dress, and she saw this lady, and she saw like the lady like was walking, like briefly looked over at her, faced forward, and kept walking, like, and then she was heading towards the stairs. So my teacher, out of curiosity, is like, "Who's that?" So she goes right around the corner and sees that there's no one there. That's
terrifying.
Yeah, so I believe our school is haunted. 100%.
Oh, guaranteed. There's our school used to be like a military base.
Yeah.
And I remember I had speech class in one of the most haunted rooms in the entire school. And they were telling us, like, there's a specific door. It was painted red to make sure people don't go in.
Oh.
There was a specific room. If you go in there, you are almost guaranteed to see a ghost. Like,
wow.
It's very possible to see a ghost.
What building was this?
What was the building called? It was upper campus. This was, like, the speech areas. I think it was Kunia. Not Kunia. The one in the back of Kunia.
Kahumanu?
Yeah. Was it Kahumanu? It might have been Kahumanu. Yeah, it was like towards the back though.
What, near the gym?
Yeah. Was it? Yes. Oh, you know where it is? It was by the art building.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I've never seen this door.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, it looks scary anyway in general, but like, yeah, there was a big door. It was red, and it was just like, if you walk in there, I think he opened it for us to like let us look inside of it, but we wouldn't. You said don't go inside there because if you go inside that classroom used to be the morgue.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, our school has a lot to it.
Oh my god, we should just like spend the night there.
Oh, we should send Shane and Ryan there.
Oh yeah, we should.
But okay, so that wraps up our Hawaii urban legends. We talked about Morgan's Corner, Pali Lookout, and Night Marchers. So I think that's like about our creepy stories. We talked about scary stories, urban legends, and then Hawaii urban legends. Oh, and creepypasta, sorry.
Yeah.
Now that we, put ourselves in the mood with some scary stories, let's talk about Hawaiian traditions. Halloween traditions. Let's talk about Halloween traditions.
Yeah, like something that's less scary to like.
Yeah, so to like kind of reminisce about Halloween then versus now. So first things first, let's talk about costumes.
The biggest issue.
Okay, so what costumes were you growing up?
So I guess my first memory of a costume was being Batman. It was the same year. I remember it was like one of our most memorable pictures. It was me and my sister as our Halloween characters. I used to be Batman, or I was Batman one year, and my sister was Mulan.
Oh.
Yeah, I remember that was the year
that must have been a good one. I can see her as Mulan.
Yeah, because we were like really young. I think I was like 5 or 6 or something like that. And then literally every year preceding it, I was a Power Ranger.
Wow.
Of that generation.
Right.
So every year, red Power Ranger, just different type of Power Ranger.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
What about you?
Well, the youngest one I can remember, it was first grade when me and Mallory were twins. We were ninjas.
Wait, what kind of ninjas?
Like, we were... we covered, like, we were Kakashi style, covering like half of our face, and then we had like the black ties, like we were all white, and then we had the black ties around our arms and legs, and it was like a legit ninja outfit, and I felt so badass. Like I had a dragon like insignia on my ninja outfit, so I felt so badass.
Wait, how old were you?
First grade.
Oh my god, I think I was gonna get that costume too.
Do you know which
I think
Can
so.
you see it?
It was
Like,
in Party City.
It was like all white, black wrappings around the leg and arms.
Did it have like a hood?
Yes, it had like a hood that covered your hair and your ears.
Yeah.
And then it covered half your face.
Yeah.
And then 2 like dragons on the front or something. Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm not even kidding you. There was a white one and I think there was a blue one, and I was gonna be the blue one.
Oh wow. Well, me and Mallory were the white one, so we got that covered. And then after, like, I felt so cool, and then after that, I remember being a hippie. I remember being a zombie bride.
Mean Girls.
Yeah. No, I was thinking about Mallory. I thought that was my costume, but it wasn't.
What was it?
She was a Slytherin student.
Were you a Gryffindor?
No. I can't really remember, but I mean, I remember I got so into costumes, and like I needed a costume for Halloween.
I remember one year you're Katara.
Oh my god, high school.
Yeah.
Yes, everyone. So my proud glory day was being Katara. I was a waterbender. I took a picture, and I had my friend have a water bottle and flick the water bottle in the picture so it looked like I was water bending, and I have the perfect picture. Maybe I'll post it to Instagram. We'll see.
Oh my god.
But yeah, those were the costumes, and I think obviously costumes make Halloween, I feel. Like at least for the kids. Okay, I actually think this year you and Nikki should be Kohaku and Chihiro. I'm not giving up on that, and I'll be No Face.
Oh my god. We'll see.
You guys would be perfect.
I'm not that kind of like in that spirit anymore.
Okay.
I'm not in that spirit. I'm a spirited away now.
You're gonna spirit away now.
No, I mean, I was thinking about it, but I just don't think I have the right look for it, honestly. Like, I'm not the right kind of Asian, I think. Yeah. I really want to be like Zuko, though.
Zuko and Katara. I'm not gonna give up on that B.
Yeah, although I feel like I look more like Mako than Zuko. I don't know.
Be Zuko, he's cooler. Okay, so we talked about costumes. Okay, now trick-or-treating experiences. Okay. How was it for you?
I remember we always trick-or-treated around my grandma's neighborhood. So we always went to my grandma's house for Halloween. We never stayed at our house.
Oh.
Yeah, because our neighborhood when we were growing up was like not the greatest.
Yeah,
it was pretty sketch. So we always went to my grandma's house. She lived in Pro City. It's all old people, so they always gave us candy and whatever.
All old Asian people there.
Yeah, pretty much. So we used to walk around like everywhere around the neighborhood. Yeah. It was great. We got a lot of candy, but it was like pretty terrible candy. It's like old people candy, or like the Party City candy.
Oh yeah.
But we did that. How long did we do that for? I was like, as long as I can remember. I'm pretty sure like when I was like born, they started taking me trick or treating.
Wow.
All the way till like I think 11, 12-year-olds.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I was pretty young when I stopped trick or treating.
I'm surprised.
I just didn't really care about it anymore.
Yeah.
What about you?
It was always my siblings. We'd go together, and it was all about like filling up our bag to as full as we can.
Wow.
And because I was always with my sister or my brother, like I was never alone. I was never scared to go up to the door and say trick or treat. I was like super excited. I would just go be like trick or treat. And I remember like the older people or like the adults be like, oh, what's your costume? And I'm like, I'm a hippie or I'm a ninja. And I just be like, I would like it when like we got to take a handful, like, you know, they present the bowl to you, and instead of them giving you a handful or like, you know, picking out which ones to give you, I wanted to grab it like a barbarian.
Oh my god.
But yeah, I started trick or treat. Okay, I can't remember when I exactly started, but I don't know if I'm supposed to be ashamed. But I think the last year I trick or treated was sophomore year, so we were 15,
16.
15, 16, yeah. Sophomore year of high school, and I went in my school uniform and pretended I was a private school student.
Oh my god!
Even though like I didn't have to pretend, like not to sound pretentious, but.
I mean, we were. That's what we were.
Yeah. So I like just used my uniform because we met up with some friends and like they didn't put a lot of effort in their costume. We just wanted to get candy.
Mm-hmm. It would have been funny though if one person dressed as a teacher and you guys were just going on a field trip.
Oh my god! Magic school bus style.
Yeah. Oh, you guys got like a giant cardboard school bus.
Yeah.
And then you just like walk around with it.
Yeah, I think trick-or-treating was like so much fun though. Like, you know, like if we had school that day, we would just be talking about like the candy we wanted, like where are you going to go trick-or-treating, what are you dressed up as. Yeah, like I mean, trick-or-treating itself was just so much fun.
I think like that reminded me though, you know, you're talking about like filling your bag up to the most like you can get. Did you ever get one of those bags where it measured your candy?
Yeah, wait. Like it had like a...
It had like not there yet.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember getting those. I used to like really want to get those lines filled. So I think at the end of the night we didn't get enough candy, obviously. So like my grandma would like just put a little bit more candy in to like fill it up a little bit.
Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah.
I hated to get, you know, like the container or like the one where you hang on your hand and it's just like shaped as a pumpkin or like one of those.
Oh yeah, I know what you're doing. Yeah.
I hated getting those because those were so small and they couldn't hold a lot of candy. So we would have to go back home, dump it, and then restart. And I was like, no, I want a big bag so I can fill it all up and carry it everywhere.
Yeah, I think like we used to get like what is now known as recyclable bags.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Before there's just like really thick bags,
right?
And we used to just like trick or treat like that.
Yeah,
we fill it up. I remember I used to like always get those like really terrible, like they're not Whoppers, but they tasted like Whoppers. So at the Party City, those candies, like they're supposed to be like knockoff M&Ms, but they're terrible tasting. I remember I used to get like literally every other neighbor would have them, and it used to make me so upset because those are my least favorite snacks to get on Halloween, and they gave it to me. I was like,
okay. So since we're in this realm, let's talk about the candies.
Okay.
So let's start with favorite candies.
Okay. My favorite candies to get were the Kit Kats. The Crunch Bars are my favorite. Ew. Crunch Bars are the best candy bars. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise, okay? They're my favorite.
I'm telling you otherwise.
They were so good. I don't know why anybody... Okay, I digress. Kit Kats, Crunch Bars, Twix. The best. The worst... Well, what are your favorites?
Snickers, Twix, and Reese's.
Okay, basic candies. I can respect
Oh,
that.
please. Those were like the gold. Those were worth gold.
I never liked Snickers, so we would have been good friends because I would have given you my Snickers and you would have given me your Crunch Bars.
Oh, yeah. What about your Reese's? Would you give me a Reese's?
No, hell no. I love Reese's. I used to love eating Reese's cups like all the time. Did you say Reese's or Reese's?
Reese's.
I say Recess.
I only started saying it because of 51st Dates. I used to call it recess, and then after watching 51st Dates, I like started saying Reese's, and it just never stopped. It's like an endless use of the word.
Yeah, it's okay. Tomato, I guess. But yeah, I used to love Recess. Like for us, it was like always like the individual cups. Mm-hmm. Did you ever get those like the actual full size candy bars?
I did get full size candy bars one year.
Wow.
And this was like towards like I think it was my sophomore year, like the one of the years I started I started to wean off trick or treating. I remember it was like a full size Snickers.
I can't believe it. I think I think maybe a couple times I would have gotten like the bigger ones. But that reminds me, my favorite candy to get was Three Musketeers. That was the one I got. It was like a giant ass like Three Musketeers. We got that. And my sister didn't like Three Musketeers. I love Three Musketeers. So I was like, I'm gonna take that.
I'll trade you. I'll give you this for that.
Oh, I didn't even trade it because she hated Three Musketeers.
Really?
I took that. And Milky Ways, she didn't like that. I loved it. So
oh, wow.
I got all the bad candies to her, and like she got nothing in return. She got my Snickers because I didn't like Snickers at the time.
Okay, let's go to worst candies then.
Okay, Snickers, easily. No, it wouldn't be the worst. I think the worst one was the dark Milky Ways. Those were terrible to me. Mm-hmm. Whoppers were really bad.
What was that chocolate coconut one? Almond Joy?
Almond Joy and Mounds.
Yeah.
Those are gross.
That was... Okay, I know that's one of your least favorites.
Yeah, okay. BTW, I hate coconut. I don't hate coconut. I just don't really like it. But I don't like the texture more than anything. Mm-hmm. Anyways, yeah. Oh, yeah. I mentioned those Party City, those really terrible knockoff candies.
Oh, yeah.
Those are really bad. What about you?
Definitely the Almond Joy. Like, my mom loved them, so she, like, scored. But I didn't like them at all. I didn't like Milk Duds because I hated how they stuck to my teeth. And, like, it was just weird.
Yeah,
I didn't like the
texture
yeah,
to it.
my mom loved them, so she scored again. What else? I didn't care for hard candies like
Warheads.
Jolly Ranchers.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
I like Warheads, but like Jolly Ranchers and just like I'm thinking of that circle one.
Oh, Gobstoppers?
No. Like the fruit. Ugh, it's colorful hard candy, and it comes in chewies too. Okay, well, hard candies basically. I just wanted chocolate and Laffy Taffy. That's all I wanted.
Really?
The only hard candies I liked was like lollipops.
Okay.
So I was cool with that. But besides that, it was Almond Joy, Milk Duds, and Butterfingers. Even though it was chocolate, I didn't like the texture.
Mm-hmm. I liked Butterfingers. I wasn't like a big fan of them because it did get stuck in my teeth, but I was okay with Butterfingers. But since we're on the topic of lollipops, are you pro or against Dum Dums?
I like Dum Dums.
Really?
I like Dum Dums.
Is there like a flavor you like?
Root beer flavor.
Really?
Root beer.
Those were my least favorite.
Whoa.
Well, I don't like root beer, so that's not a big surprise.
Okay. What was your favorite?
The strawberry ones. Did they have strawberries?
Yeah, there was strawberry.
Yeah. Or there's chocolate ones too, but those were not that good.
Yeah. I do remember they had like a blue one. Was it cotton candy?
Oh, I remember. It was blue raspberry maybe?
Yeah, and like it would turn your mouth blue.
Oh, yeah. Okay, those were good. Those are really good. I think blue raspberry is my favorite like fruit snack, quote unquote fruit snack, even though there's no such thing as a blue raspberry. But
yeah. You know, I just remembered another favorite candy. The Scooby-Doo Chewables.
Really? You
the
like
gummies.
Those are like it wasn't chewy enough to be considered like a Sour Patch Kid, but it wasn't tough enough to be like a gummy bear. So it was like right in between.
I loved it. I loved it.
Oh no, you're one of those people who like Flintstone gummy bears, didn't you? Or the Flintstone gummies, the vitamins.
Oh no, we never had that. My parents didn't care about gummies, I think.
Yeah.
Like, I think it was just like, okay, you're eating enough, you're good. Okay, so after, like, you see the candies you like, the candies you don't like. So how would you wrap up the night? Like, to check your candies? Or, like, how would you look at, like, your haul
I would dump it out on my grandma's carpet.
Mm-hmm.
I would just like throw everything out. My sister would throw everything out too. We'd
But you
sort.
make sure that no, like your candy didn't go into her.
Oh, yeah,
Her
yeah.
candy didn't come into
We were
yours.
close enough to like sort things, so we would like switch candies out, but we were like, there was a definite clear separation between our candy mounds. And I remember that was like the time it was like, okay, my sister hates this, and then I hate this, so we're switching.
Right.
And then so like we just keep doing that, and then at a certain point we just ran into candy that we both like liked, and we ran into candy that we hated. So there was a giant ass pile of like rejects on the side, and we just hated them.
Yeah.
And my dad, being like, you know, cheap and everything, he liked to eat those candies. What about you?
Okay, same. Like me and Mallory, we would sit like specifically in the kitchen on the floor and spread like, you know, like dump our candies out. And I would organize it by gummy, lollipop, chocolate, chocolates I liked, chocolates I didn't like.
Wow.
What else? Oh, like the hard candies.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would organize it by Snickers, Reese's, like, you know, like that. It was very organized.
Wow.
Yeah. And then I would look at what I had, and then I look at what Mallory had. If she had more than me, I wouldn't be happy. And then I'd give my mom, like, it's like funny because it's like I felt like I was like rewarding my mom for taking me trick or treating. You know, like
Here's your cut.
Here's your payment, mom.
Oh my
Here's
God.
your crunch and your milk duds.
Did you
or like yeah.
Did you and Mallory like the same candies?
Yeah, we did. Like we loved Twix, we loved Snickers, the Reese's.
So there was no trading then.
Yeah, there was no trading. Maybe if like there was one thing I liked a little more, she'd give it to me, but I had to trade her something she kind of liked.
What about you and your brothers?
I don't. Okay, maybe we traded a little, but there's like a 8-year age gap.
Oh, so by the time they're
Yeah, so by the time, yeah,
Okay.
the gap was big. So yeah, I mean, I remember they would try to swipe my candy, and I put up a fight. I worked hard for this.
Oh, so speaking of candy, did you ever have to check your candies?
I didn't. Okay, honestly, I personally don't remember it. I just literally ate it, opened it, and everything. But, you know, as we got older and I started hearing about needles in chocolate or like whatever, I started like I started to remember my mom would sometimes like just like look at the candies first and to see if there was any that were slightly open, they were thrown away.
Wow. I think the same thing happened. Like if they're like really open, like if they were like slightly like there was like air pocket inside of it, we throw it away.
Yeah.
But
I don't remember consciously looking through that. If anything, my parents looked at it and then they would take it away. What about you? What about you?
I don't know. There wasn't really much of like checking or anything like that. Like you said, like it was only like in recent years where like it was really starting to become like an epidemic.
It was like high school.
Yeah.
By the time we were done trick-or-treating.
Yeah. Like I know there was like, there used to be like pranks or whatever, like razor apples and whatever, but like no one gives apples for like candy.
Yeah.
So, but like I never really thought, I guess like at the time we were growing up, there wasn't really much of like a creative mind to like torture kids like that.
Yeah, and like I feel like it was a lot more like innocent back then.
Yeah.
In a sense, like I don't think parents had to worry about needles or sewing needles or whatever in candy.
Yeah. But I mean, at the same time, like nowadays it's like they can't even trust their kids to go out alone anymore because there's so many like bad things in the world.
Yeah.
So
which is so crazy.
I know times have really changed. You'd think it'd be better, but it gets worse.
Yeah, it really does.
But yeah, I honestly don't think we ever checked our candies, but I wouldn't be surprised if my mom did check it.
Same.
Yeah, behind my back, but I don't know when because I would just start eating the candy.
Yeah. And then it would just go straight into the fridge or something.
Yeah. You put your candy in the fridge?
Yeah, or like the chocolates at least.
Oh.
Because I didn't like it when it got melty. If it got melty, I get mad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I thought it was a waste of my haul.
I never really minded it getting melty.
And because like we lived in Eva like since like for a long time, so it was hot, and my mom, she didn't want ants and she didn't want like melty chocolate, like she didn't want candy out. So the safest place was to put it in the fridge.
That makes sense.
So talking about we talked about Halloween night and trick-or-treating, but do you remember school, like during Halloween week?
Yes.
And like we were allowed to dress up as like characters?
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so in high school, what did you dress up as?
Nothing.
Really?
I was like, I used that as a free dress day, but like I did a little bit because I was like rebellious and whatever. quote unquote rebellious because I didn't really care. But I was like, I did like Angry Bird stuff. Like I had an Angry Bird shirt, so I just dressed up like an Angry Bird or whatever. Literally, all my friends gave me shit about it because it was like, that's all you're gonna do for Halloween, and I'm like,
I actually remember you wearing this Angry Bird shirt. It was either red or yellow.
It was red or black usually.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I think I got the black one, and then the red one I got like later on in high school. But I just never cared about Halloween in high school at all.
Lame.
So I was just, I mean, it's not like I didn't care. It's just like there was no point in doing it at that point.
No, you're wrong. You're wrong.
There was no point.
You're wrong.
Because in high school I didn't even trick or treat. So what was the point of dressing up?
The fact that you can dress up.
See, my parents didn't like want me to buy a costume because it's a waste of money. So I just never did. I was just like, I'm out. I can't do this. So whatever.
Wow.
Yeah. Also, my parents thought it was kind of immature of me to like want to trick or treat like in high school.
Not like trick or treat, but to at least dress up.
Well, yeah, but then they thought that because I wasn't trick or treating, there would be no point in getting a costume. So there was a whole thing about that, and I was just like, I don't care. Like, I honestly didn't care enough to like put up a fight.
Yeah.
So,
Path of least resistance.
Yeah. Well, I know you're Katara 1 year.
I was Katara 1 year. I was Little Red Riding Hood, but like badass style. Like
I think I remember that.
Skinny jeans, like a white top, black boots. Like I was deadly. And I carried a basket around. I had cookies in it.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
When was that? What year?
That was freshman year.
Oh, okay.
No. That was sophomore year.
Okay.
That was sophomore year. I can't remember what I was freshman year.
What about junior year? Or was that Katara?
Junior year was Katara.
What was senior year?
I think I was a Hogwarts student.
Oh, okay.
Cop out. Like easy cop out.
I mean, still better than what I did.
Yeah. And then college, I didn't really dress up. I think, I was a Snapchat filter, the rainbow barf.
I remember that.
Yeah, I was that. And I think that was one of my proudest costumes, honestly.
Did you paint that yourself?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And I think I was that before it got so mainstream.
Okay, Miss Hipster.
You know. But yeah, so like I really liked it when schools incorporated like Halloween spirit.
Yeah, I liked it because I mean it gave us a free dress day. But it was like usually Spirit Week usually?
I think it was.
So yeah, because I remember like having like different themes, and then Halloween was like the last day or whatever. But yeah, I remember that. I remember it was just me being able to wear shorts finally, or like shorts that were not like our uniform shorts.
Oh yeah.
Ugh, the worst.
Hey, and I mean, any other Halloween tradition that you did when you were younger?
I mean, I'm like staying on the topic of school. I do remember like elementary. We used to like read scary stories.
Oh yeah.
But like elementary scary stories.
Like librarian would read it to us. I remember that.
Yeah, but sometimes like I don't know if this was in everything, but did you ever have like a textbook for like literature arts?
Yes.
So like
language arts, yeah.
Yeah, literature arts. Proper. What is it called? They used to, like, in the book itself, they used to always have, like, one scary story. And that story we would always read on Halloween.
Right.
So I remember there was one, it was, like, about rats in a lighthouse or whatever. And they would just, like, eat everything. And I don't know why. It was supposed to be terrifying, but it wasn't that scary. It was kind of boring, actually.
I don't know if I'm manifesting the story in my head, but that sounds familiar.
It was, like, middle school, I think. Or it would have been, like, late elementary, but it was, like, middle schoolish. But I do remember, like, at the same time, we'd watch, like, not scary movies, like children movies.
Right. Scary children's movie.
Yeah. But, I mean, it was a pretty good time. We pretty much just did Halloween things. I think one year, I don't know if we did this every year, but we did this one year. We trick-or-treated across the school.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
What school was this?
This is Marinol.
Okay.
Yeah, my small Catholic school.
Yeah, I'm surprised Catholic school allowed us to celebrate Halloween.
I know.
You know, because it's kind of like dark connotation. Or not dark connotation, but it's not.
It doesn't fall in line with Catholics.
Yeah.
But, I mean, at the same time, they let us, like, celebrate Dia de Muertos.
Oh, yeah, Dia de los Muertos.
Yeah, like, and that was, like, not... I guess it's Catholic?
I mean, it's kind of... it's not, like, about your family coming back to you, like, your ancestors. So, yeah.
I don't know. But, yeah, I remember that. Oh, and the Halloween March. Did you ever have that? It's, like, if you were dressed in a costume that day...
Yes. Oh my god, I just got a flashback
Yeah.
to I think it was okay, it was like I think it was kindergarten. Kindergarten, sorry. I was dressed up as Blossom from Powerpuff Girls.
Wow.
And I had like the costume I had was so legit. Like we had like a wig. Like it was like one of those cloth wigs though. And it was like, you know, her orange hair and her red bow. And I was a legit Blossom.
Wow.
And I think that's one of my proudest costumes, besides the ninja and Katara.
I can't believe you remember that in kindergarten,
Like,
though.
When you said Halloween March, that triggered like the memory to surface.
Were you like like you're marching as Blossom?
Yeah, and I was so proud of myself. Like no one could take me down. Mallory was Bubbles.
Damn. Wait, who was Buttercup?
We didn't have a Buttercup.
Of course you didn't have a Buttercup.
It's a duo, not a trio with us.
I'm surprised Mallory wasn't Buttercup.
I know. I know.
But yeah, I remember in elementary school, like every year, if you were dressed in a costume, doesn't matter what grade you were, like you'd always like be able to like, at least you stood in a line and then you would just like march around the courtyard, all the way around the buildings and everything. And I never did that because my mom didn't want me to like dirty my costume for Halloween.
Oh
or
my
whatever.
God.
So my mom didn't let me do that. So it's like, whatever, I don't care. But yeah, it was fun. I like had a good time.
Yeah, so like, okay, so that was our kid and young Halloween. What do you do for Halloween as an adult now?
I would say sit and drink, but that's a lie. I'm like not a drinker. What do I do? Most of the time it's like family parties or whatever. We just like sit down and like my family would usually sit on our driveway and then we would just hand out candy to these kids and whatever. Or if I have a party to go to, I'll probably go to a party.
Yeah.
But I mean, you know, whatever. I mean, this is like what? The second Halloween of us being full adults.
Yeah.
So we don't have college parties anymore.
Yeah. We like I remember in college like I would go like, you know, down to Chinatown, we'd go bar hopping and I would just put on like cat ears or something. Something simple, right? I remember doing that. I remember going with my friend to take her younger brother trick-or-treating. But now like I don't know, it's because I'm older or like whatever, but I kind of feel like I have to repay the debt. Like, you know, I feel like I have to pass out candy.
It's coming full circle now.
Yeah, it's coming full circle. Like, you know, I reaped the benefits hardcore.
Yeah.
So now I have to do it for the next generation.
I mean, it makes sense. And it's kind of good because, like, it really, like, shows that you care about, like, you know, passing on traditions.
Yeah, and, like, you know, like, it just, like, adults made it good for me when I was growing up. So I feel like I want to make it good for children too.
Yeah.
But I don't know if this was a thing when we were younger, but I remember people would go trick-or-treat, I remember when we were younger that we would just trick-or-treat around neighborhoods. But nowadays, kids can trick-or-treat at the malls.
That's right. I think they used to do that with us too.
Really?
Yeah, because I remember like growing up, like all of Moana used to have those trick or treating.
I never knew.
But it was hell. I think my mom one year wanted to take us, and I think like it's kind of like Black Friday for Halloween.
I cannot imagine.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I'm not sure. I could be wrong, but yeah.
I just feel like you get better candies in your neighborhood. You don't know what you're gonna get, but I just felt like my neighborhood, because it was so big, there was lots to like get candy from.
Yeah, I mean your neighborhood is like a maze.
Yeah, so I mean it's the perfect layout.
Yeah.
For trick or treating.
I guess mine is pretty good too because literally it's a cookie cutter neighborhood.
Yeah, it's you just follow the path.
Yeah, but I guess now I'm gonna have to take my niece trick or treating too. So this is the thing. I told my sister this every year, and my niece is running out of years at this point because she's turning into like a child instead of an infant. I told my sister she should be Moana. My niece should be Moana. My sister should be the mom of Moana, and my brother-in-law should be the father chief of whatever. I don't know what they are. Samoa? Motunui. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then like I want it to be Tefiti.
Oh.
What's it Tefiti? No, Te Ka. I want to be Te Ka.
You're Te Ka, B.
Like I want to throw fire and lava at people.
We know you're Te Ka.
My dad can be Maui.
Yeah. And your mom can be Tefiti.
No, my mom is the crazy grandma.
Oh my god.
And then my yappy dog is gonna be Hey Hey.
Oh, yeah.
And then my other dog is gonna be Pua.
Oh.
Yeah. It's like it becomes like it's so perfect.
It's perfect.
Because when my baby, when my niece was like a baby, she looked like Moana, like baby Moana. I could see her as Moana. I told my sister this. She didn't want to listen. She wanted to go. Why did she go as? I think Wendy and Peter Pan.
Yeah, that's right. I remember the picture.
I was like, God damn it! You guys look nothing like them. Nothing at all. The one movie that comes out, you could have been it, but you didn't want to be it, and I was so mad. So mad.
You want to live through this family?
Yeah, like my niece looks like, I'm not trying to toot my own family's horn, but she looks just like Moana, like baby Moana. Makes me so sad. But anyways, I digress.
Okay, so I mean, Halloween then and now, like I mean, it's come a long way, it's very. I feel like it's same yet different.
Mm-hmm.
Like I mean, time has changed, so it's interesting to see how much it's kind of like evolved.
Yeah.
And I can only imagine, like if and when we have children, what it's gonna be like.
Oh my God, can you just imagine? I feel like in the future they're just gonna have like teleporting pads and they're just gonna go trick or treat, teleport,
Or
trick or treat.
what if it's like all on an app?
What would that
I don't know how it would work, but you collect candy, like candy points on an app, and then you redeem it at the store.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Is it though? I mean, it takes away the fun of trick or treating, of getting out there.
I mean, you remember when the iPhone was first invented?
Yeah.
And then like they had the bump app?
Oh yeah.
And then you like had to like bump phones to get it.
Yeah.
It could be the same concept. You bump phones to get the points, right? So you're like interacting with people and then you redeem them for real candy.
Okay, like I mean, I'm not gonna hold my breath. Like anything can happen in like the next 20 years.
And the candy you get to choose, so it's only the good candies.
Or no, like it's X amount of tokens.
Okay. So it's kind of like Fun Factory.
Yeah, like so like Milk Duds are 1 point, Almond Joys are 2, Reese's are 5, Snickers are 6. Like whatever.
Okay, good. So I'm gonna follow the lower category, I guess, in this scenario because Snickers are terrible.
You don't know what you're talking about, as usual.
I do know what I'm talking about because I'm a Ravenclaw.
And I'm a Hufflepuff. I'm true and loyal.
Yeah, and I'm right.
So you think. You're just sensitive. You have an ego to take care of.
I have an ego, but I also have an ego. You know what I mean?
Oh, please.
You know what I mean?
Okay, so I hope you all enjoyed our Halloween special. And I hope you got a little blast to the past and a little
scared
with our creepy stories.
Yeah. Hope you guys have a very safe Halloween. Be careful.
Make sure you look both ways before crossing the street. Don't talk to strangers.
Don't carry pork over the pulley.
If you hear drums.
Yeah, strip naked.
But really, like, have a great Halloween.
Yeah.
Whatever you do, just make sure you're safe. Make sure you don't bother hurt anyone else.
Yeah.
Just have fun.
Yeah.
Enjoy Halloween while we can.
Yeah. And also, like, just remember that Halloween is the very first holiday of, like, a string of holidays to come.
Yes, it's the beginning.
It is.
And then, it starts Halloween, November, Christmas, New Year's, not Valentine's Day. But, yeah. So, happy Halloween, bees.
Yeah. Have a happy Halloween.
Woo.
Okay, bye, guys.
Bye.
To Be or Not to Be was directed, produced, and hosted by Michelle Felipe and Austin Chun. Special thanks to our friend Simon for letting us use his office. Music by Joakim Karud, and you can find him on SoundCloud, Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, Twitter, and iTunes. Licensed under the Creative Commons Attribution 3.0 Unported Share Alike license.
You can find us at To Be or Not to Be, one word, on Instagram and Twitter. And make sure to subscribe and like us on YouTube and SoundCloud.